Hey, comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And guys, you're with me, Mike Spider Slayer, and I just got done watching The Walking Dead, and this episode was awesome. This was like my favorite episode yet. It was just filled with action, suspense. It was like watching a movie, and at the end of it, I was just like, the very last scene, and I don't want to spoil it, but the very last scene, you hear familiar music that you heard, and you just see a glimpse of this character, and I thought I would be kind of upset, but I was just so ecstatic by it, and I'm like, oh my god, no way! And then they showed like the preview for next week, and they're making the guy look sick and sadistic. It was like awesome. I love the ending of this. The actual overall episode was epic. I love this. I want to say this was a great episode for Herschel and for what he represents, and also Rick having some, I guess you want to say, a bonding moment in today's society with his son Carl. This episode is kind of the conclusion to the whole flu epidemic thing that is happening in the prison, and we can see that people are dying left and right, and Herschel's trying to do anything that he can possible to keep people alive until the other group comes back with the medication. And in this episode, it starts off a little slow, but it still has you at the edge of your seat. You're sitting there going, something can go wrong at any second. And by the time you get to the end of this episode, towards the middle, just everything wrong can possibly go wrong. You got zombies coming in from the prison because people are dying, and Herschel can't take them all that well. And you got Glenn, who's practically dying. And then you have the zombies that break through the fence, and Rick and Carl are forced to try to stop them. I mean, this episode was awesome, and by the time you got to the end of the episode, you're just like, okay, now we see something going, because you couldn't make this whole season all about this flu thing. It can only go so long, and I felt that it was the perfect time to wrap this all up and move on to another story arc, which is good. And I think you're going to see the beginning of this next story arc, and then it's going to somewhat stop at a mid-season, at a high peak at the mid-season. But great, you can see the character in Herschel in this series. He did not want to quit. There's a couple of times where I thought, okay, this guy is toast, he's going to die. But it was just awesome. And then you get to see a little bit of Rick coming back in the beginning of the episode, and he tells Maggie that he had to get rid of Carol, and I guess Maggie told Herschel, and at the end of the episode you get what is it? You get Herschel talking to Daryl when they finally make their return, saying that you got to talk to Rick about Carol. So that's going to be a big deal. What's Rick going to say to Daryl? Because Daryl was the closest to Carol. And great stuff, though, here, guys. This is an episode that makes The Walking Dead so good. I just got pumped. Even though a lot of us, from the last season, not everyone was like, I'm not into the governor and everything else. Trust me, by the end of this, there's something about it that just got me excited to see what's going to happen next. So, guys, watch this episode. One of the best episodes this season, if not the best episode. And there's my thoughts on The Walking Dead this week. So, guys, as always, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0. And this is Mike Spider Slayer signing up. See you guys next week. Take care, everyone.